Good evening to you and welcome. It's Monday, 27th May 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, police arrest soldiers, NSCDC official involved in criminality in Rivers State. Police DIG Sokari Pedro says police are winning war against criminality despite difficult terrain. Federal government's move to ensure full local government autonomy generates comment. Senate begins public hearing on act to revert to old national anthem. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian president charges Western leaders to force Russia to make peace. I am Constance Mega. Police have arrested 3 soldiers and an NSCDC official who are members of a 13-man armed robbery gang that specializes in hijacking and diverting trailer loads of goods in Rivers State. In a statement, Police Public Relations Officer Grace Ringikoku said they were arrested after the command received a distress call about burglars attempting to vandalize warehouses in the Elimbu axis. The statement said the police arrested 5 suspects who had been beaten by a mob and took them to the police hospital. Well, she said the suspects confessed to abandoning their posts as security personnel to engage in criminality in Rivers State, where they include West Isaac, a corporal in the Nigerian Army serving in Delta State, Lance Corporal Abdul Musa, Lance Corporal Mbe Jeffrey, and Corporal Innocent Okoli, and another suspect, Jabila Kamanga, also known as Kaka, an officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps serving in Kaba, Kogi State. While the statement said the 8 civilians include Olise Emeka, George Obilo, Samson Wilson, Alfred Abeke, Barry John, Awalu Aliyu, Uchenna Wali, and Alhaji Sofinu Haruna. The statement also said the gang had hijacked a trailer loaded with fertilizer valued at 25 million naira. And in February, a 40-foot container filled with imported clothing from China and another trailer carrying POP cement. Well, she said the police have recovered the stolen POP cement and are working to retrieve the trailer load of fertilizer from its receiver. The statement, however, added that 3 of the affected soldiers have been dismissed by the Nigerian Army after the police handed them over. In the meantime, the Deputy Inspector General of Police for ICT in the South, Daniel Sokari Pedro, says despite the difficulty in tackling crime in the geopolitical zone, the police are winning the war against criminality. He said this during his visit to the Rivers State Police Command as part of his tour of the 6 state commands that he is in charge of. But DIG Sokari Pedro said the crime report for April shows there were 31 cases of kidnapping, 18 cases of armed robbery, and 35 cases of cultism. Well, he said that Rivers State reported the lowest incidents among these 3 categories of crimes. But the police DIG also called for collaboration with stakeholders, including the media, to enhance efforts in combating crime.
The secrets I gathered from this zone give me the impression that the zone is a very difficult zone in terms of criminality. Despite all these challenges, the CPs are doing well. All I just want to do is to encourage them to do better. When I was doing my own statistics, I used last month, that is April, as a case study, and I used 3 indices of crime. Those indices are cultism, armed robbery, and kidnapping. We had 31 cases of kidnapping in months I'm reviewing. The first 3 are Delta and Akwa Ibom. The list is River.
Correspondent Emeko Tukari reports that earlier, Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, Olatunji Disu, in his address, highlighted the achievements and challenges of the command.
On assumption of duty, I went round to some local government areas in the state and appraised the security situation. More disturbing was the gruesome killing of SP Abu Angbashin, the former divisional police officer is in order, and some other pockets of violence in some parts of the state. With God on our side, the perpetrators of the murder of the DPOs were flushed out and neutralized, while others are standing trial at the law courts. The command is faced with a lot of challenges, but not limited to some shortages of anti-riot equipment, space for mobility, and most importantly, we request for more manpower.
Moving on, Political analyst and legal practitioner Liberus Oshoma says the move by the federal government to ensure full local government autonomy is a big issue that must not be dismissed. Mr. Oshoma spoke in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari.
This is the biggest issue you can take to achieve local government autonomy. Let's not run away from the fact that we are today poor because our local governments are not viable. As strengthened, then you can attract good people to vie for office at the local government level. And when you have strong people to vie for office at the local government level, it becomes easy to actually, create structure of governance at the local level, because it does not mean that once the local government are autonomous, that INEC will not be conducting elections for them, or that the powers of the state to administer the local government will be taken away. No,
Well, Mr. Oshoma said the gains of the government's move will bring the dividends of democracy closer to the people.
We cannot say because governors are imposing their candidates, because of that we should not even attempt to strengthen the local government level. That is one of the ways you can actually, strengthen governance at the local level and bring dividends of democracy to the people at the local level. If you had a local government autonomy, there would be no need for anybody to extend the tenure of a local government chairman whose tenure has expired. Once your tenure expires, there's no need for anybody saying the House of Assembly extends your tenure. No.
Well, recall that the federal government filed a suit at the Supreme Court seeking to compel governors of the 36 states of the Federation to grant full autonomy to the local governments in their domains. Well, the suit was filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, on behalf of the federal government. Now, the federal government is urging the apex court to issue an order prohibiting state governors from unlawful dissolution of democratically elected local government leaders. In other news now, the paramount ruler of Rumibekwe community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State, Eze Raymond Elewa, is congratulating Governor Siminalayi Fubara for his impactful 1 year in office. In a statement on behalf of the people of Rumibekwe community, the monarch said the governor, in the past year, has impacted the lives of the people with human and infrastructure development that he has initiated. He prayed to God to continue to grant the governor wisdom to navigate the affairs of the state. The statement also thanked the governor for appointing one of their sons, Solomon Eke, as a commissioner in his cabinet and congratulated Solomon Eke on his appointment. Moving on, the Senate has started a public hearing on an act to revert to the old national anthem and related matters. Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele, who represented the Senate President Godswill Akpabio at the hearing, said the second stanza of the current anthem shall be the national prayer. He, however, said if deemed necessary, there will be further consultation on the matter. Now, on his part, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, said the amendment should also be subjected to a wider consultation to ensure that it is a true reflection of the wishes of all Nigerians. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, says the Nigeria Air project remains suspended indefinitely. Mr. Keyamo stated this today at the third ministerial update in Abuja, and he also hinted at plans for the resumption of cargo flights between Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. Still to come, more calls for protection of children's rights as Nigeria marks Children's Day. Stay tuned. this year's Children's Day. Parents and guardians have been charged to uphold children's rights. In an interview with a correspondent, a professor of development studies and director, Center for Gender, University of Port Harcourt, Helma Wallo, also urged the government and NGOs to fulfill their responsibilities in promoting and protecting children's rights. Professor Wallo expressed concern that 12 out of Nigeria's 36 states are yet to adopt the 2003 Child Rights Act into their laws, but she also called on parents and educators to create suitable environments that promote the mental and emotional well-being of children.
If those who are parents understand their primary function, their responsibility to their children, they will contribute a lot to ensuring that their children are not abused. Imagine a scenario where a parent will ask a child who is less than 10. In fact, from 0 to 18, you say go and sell in the morning before you go to school or before you eat. It's an abuse. The government on its part should also live up to its responsibility by ensuring that the systems that make up the society are functional and productive.
Well, some children also spoke with our correspondent on this.
Children are the heritage of the Lord. They are the future of tomorrow. Parents too should always think about us. Our parents and government should provide us a free pack for children so that when it's our day, we can go there and have fun. I would like my mommy to encourage me in what I want to be in life, to take me to a good school so that I will learn to become a doctor in future.
I like my mommy to take me to the park or put cartoon for me.
While some others spoke on the need for the state government to provide adequate support for out-of-school children and devote time to visiting children at orphanages, among others.
Children are facing child abandonment. Some parents abandon their children. Some of them are facing hunger. Some are not going to school.
Many parents are poor, so to the extent that they cannot take care of their children in their education. The government should make free schools. Should stop parents from encouraging their children on going for help, not for them to be enrolled in the school.
I want government making all the hardship come to an end.
Government has to raise time so that they can go out to help the needy children in the orphanages, some are in the hospitals, to help them and help them with problems that they're facing in areas of their lives.
Also, a father, Kelvin Ode, says he is intentional with teaching his children about their rights.
Parenting is a whole new multifaceted task. I don't find it easy, in handling my daughter, especially teaching her her rights, how to protect herself in public, from boys in school and men in the public and people she doesn't know. Be humble, don't be violent. When people look for your trouble, look for your teacher in class and report. If it's at home, look for your mommy or your daddy, report such person. Never hide anything from them. I don't sit her down to teach her those things like the formal education system. I practicalize it, I show her, and that is the easiest way.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu says his administration is fully committed to providing Nigeria's children with a strong foundation to achieve their dreams. Well, the president said this in a statement to mark this year's Children's Day celebration. As you may know, Children's Day is celebrated in Nigeria on 27th May each year, and the theme for this year is For Every Child, Every Right.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged Western leaders to pressure Russia into peace using all means necessary. Speaking in Spain, Mr. Zelensky said there needs to be tangible coercion of Russia, which was seeking to destroy Ukraine and move on. Mr. Zelensky has long said he will not negotiate with Russia directly until Moscow's forces leave all Ukrainian territory, including the Crimea. On the news this evening, you heard that the police have arrested 3 soldiers and an NSCDC official who are members of a 13-man criminal gang in Rivers State. The police DIG Sokari Pedro has said that the police are winning the war against criminality despite the difficult terrain. And the federal government's move to ensure full local government autonomy is generating comments. The Senate has begun a public hearing on an act to revert to the old national anthem. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged Western leaders to force Russia to make peace. And that was the news this evening. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.